The word
现在
can be translated as now, nowadays, or at the time being. Let's first look at the left part of the Chinese character.
现
It has 3 horizontal strokes and 1 vertical stroke. In the very early days, there was another character that also had 3 horizontal strokes and 1 vertical stroke, but the vertical stroke was longer. What does it mean? You might hardly figure out it refers to a string of jade pieces. Since ancient times to this day, Chinese people have always had a special fondness for jade. In those old days, people would cut and polish jade, drill holes in it, and string it together with ropes to make ornaments. Now, let's take a look at the right part of the character. In the most ancient form, it looked like this. Look, the upper part, doesn't it look like a human eye? That's right. It represents a person's eye. And the lower part represents a person. In the text, this combination expresses the meaning of seeing. Here are the pictures jade I found on internet. This an uncut rough jade stone, and after it was cut in half, you can see the charming green sheen of the jade inside the stone. You can see that the true appearance of jade can only be revealed by cutting it open. In China, jade gifts symbolize purity, luck, and high social status, with top-quality jade often costing as much as luxury cars or houses due to its cultural and historical significance. Showing the jade to others means to display or present, later.
现
Was further extended to convey the temporal meanings of the present moment or now. This is because when something becomes visible or emerges, it typically occurs at the present instant, thus establishing a connection between
现
and the current time. Speaking of this, I can't help but mention an English word, present. As a noun, present also means a gift. As a verb, it means to show or present something to others. As an adjective, it denotes the current moment. The present tense in English, it is also denoted by term of present, is used to describe actions, states, or conditions happening right now, regularly, or generally true facts. It's truly amazing that the Chinese character
现
and the English word present share such striking coincidences across these two different languages. Now, let's explore the Chinese character.
在
At first glance, the earliest form of this character might seem a bit puzzling, right? But what if I place an image of a field beneath it? Does that give you a better sense of its meaning? If you still cannot get it, I would like to replace it with a scarecrow. It becomes more apparent now. Imagine an object standing upright, signaling to people far away, I am here. It seems quite reasonable that it came to generally express the idea of existence. Although this intuitive understanding isn't the actual origin, it does help people grasp its concept more easily. The fact we found is, this symbol doesn't actually represent a scarecrow. Instead, it borrowed its form from another Chinese character.
才
In.
才
The top horizontal stroke represents the ground, and the small sprout emerging from it symbolizes new growth. Originally, this character conveyed the concept of young plants sprouting from the soil, indicating the early stages of vegetation growth. In the earliest forms of Chinese characters, mainly oracle bone script and some early bronze inscriptions,
在
and
才
shared the same written form, which was that of
才
but as
才
took on too many extended meanings, such as beginning, talent, just now, and existence. To ensure clearer communication, the ancients created a dedicated character
在
for the commonly used meaning of existence. Since existence inherently requires space, the sprout come from oil on our earth, which is called
土
in Chinese. Therefore,
土
as radical was added to emphasize the concept of existing and highlighting the notion of location. And then, after centuries of evolution, finally
在
stabilized its shape as we are wrote nowadays. Actually, for the origins of Chinese characters, many of them have solid evidence to support, but there are also some that are just people's speculations. So, when it comes to the origins of many Chinese characters, there are different opinions both in the academic world and among ordinary people. What I am presenting here is what I've come up with after looking through many kinds of materials, combining different viewpoints, and adding my own judgments. During this process, I seem to have gradually figured out some internal rules, especially the rules among homophones, characters that sound the same. These rules give me the confidence to confirm some controversial theories about the origins of Chinese characters. Let's take the character
现
as an example. Usually, the pronunciation of a Chinese character is often taken from a certain part of it to indicate its sound. For the character
现
on the left side is,
王
and on the right side is,
见
the pronunciation of
见
is similar to that of.
现
But why don't we just use
见
since the homophones are so common in Chinese? Then I thought of another character.
现
In ancient times,
现
the original meaning of this character refers to offering sacrificial animals to deity. It is extended from the act of presentation and the items presented to the meaning of devotion or offering, and further extended to mean displaying or performing for others to see. The view I adopted before is that the original meaning of
现
is to show jade to others. So, by comparing the pronunciations, I'm more confident that what I'm presenting to you is in line with historical facts. Let's look at another character.
在
The common view is that the pronunciation of
在
is borrowed from its original character.
才
But I don't really agree with this. Because in Chinese, there's a character,
栽
which means to plant trees in soil,
栽
and
在
only differ in tone. And this founding also let me overturn my previous idea that the origin of
在
is about putting a scarecrow in the field. Instead, I think it comes from the place where seeds sprout.
现
Has a bunch of different meanings. When it comes to the word now, it mainly tells us about the time, the present moment or period. It really stresses how immediate this time is, as opposed to the past or the future.
在
Usually means to exist, keep living, or be placed in a certain place or state. In the word now, it means being in a particular time. It helps make even clearer the time range that
现
is referring to, and puts more emphasis on being in the present time. Why they're combined in expression. When
现
and
在
get together to make now, their meanings work together nicely.
现
Shows that we're talking about the present time. And
在
makes the idea of being in that present time state even stronger. Together, they form a word that can precisely and clearly refer to the current moment or a short time around when we're speaking. Using them together is way more accurate for expressing time than just using
现
or
在
on their own.
现
And
在
come together to form the disyllabic word.
现在
Let's chat about a linguistic phenomenon in Chinese today, which is disyllabic words. In English, there are disyllabic words also. Well, let us talk about monosyllabic word first. A monosyllabic word in English is simply a word containing just one syllable, meaning it's pronounced in a single, unbroken sound unit, like now, go, while a disyllabic word is simply a word containing two syllables, pronounced in two distinct sound parts, like time or table. In Chinese, especially modern Chinese, is just packed with a ton of disyllabic words. A disyllabic word is made up of two syllables with corresponding to two Chinese characters. During the development of the Chinese language, statistics show that a whopping 89.4% of the words are disyllabic. There are some reasons why disyllabic words came into being. It includes things like the gradual evolution of the phonetic system, the enrichment of vocabulary, and people's language usage habits, among others. As society marches forward and the language keeps evolving, people need to express more and more concepts and things. Monosyllabic words often just can't cut it and meet this demand. So, disyllabic and even polysyllabic words popped up. Disyllabic words have loads of perks in Chinese. They can make expressions more precise and lively, and it's easier to form new words with them. Plus, disyllabic words fit right in with the rhythmic characteristics of Chinese, making the language sound way more pleasing and harmonious. In the earliest oracle bone inscriptions, the character
修
is composed of the radical
人
which refers to human being on the left, and
木
which means tree, on the right. Together, they form a visual image of a person leaning against a tree. In ancient times, when people grew tired from hunting or farming, they would lean against a tree to rest, which led to the creation of this character. By the time of the bronze inscriptions in the Shang and Zhou dynasties, the form of
修
became more regular, with the strokes of
人
and.
木
During the period of seal script, it was further simplified, yet still retained the structure of a person leaning against a tree. Resting represents a simple interaction between humans and nature. In the Han dynasty, the clerical script made the strokes of
修
more straight and even, while the regular script in the Tang dynasty finalized its current appearance. From handwriting to printing, and from calligraphy to everyday use,
修
has always been a commonly used character to express rest or pause. The character
西
is really fascinating. Take a look at it. The top part is
字
and the bottom part is
心
now.
字
In modern Chinese means self, but originally, it represented the nose. You know, in cultures all around the world, pointing at one's own nose is a way to refer to oneself. Let's delve into the evolution of
字
in oracle bone script, the character
字
looks like a human nose, with clear details of the nasal bridge, nostrils, and even nasal lines. This pictographic representation directly points to its original meaning, nose. In bronze script, the character
字
remains largely similar to its oracle bone script form, but with slight changes in shape, becoming more symmetrical and emphasizing the two wrinkles at the root of the nose. In seal script, the character
字
undergoes significant changes. The lines representing the nasal bridge straighten out, and the curved lines on either side of the nostrils merge into an arc at the bottom of the character, losing the depiction of the nostrils. After the clerical script transformation, not only do the nasal bridge, nostrils, and nasal lines merge, but the short vertical line representing the nasal bridge also changes into a short stroke above the left side. By this point, the character
字
no longer resembles a nose, but its meaning has been preserved through cultural inheritance. Now, let's briefly touch on the origin of
心
as we mentioned when introducing greetings, in oracle bone script,
心
depicts the shape of a heart. In bronze script, a dot is even added in the center of
心
to symbolize the blood flowing within the heart. This not only shows a keen observation of nature, but also reflects the ancient Chinese profound understanding of the heart as the core of life. In small seal script,
心
undergoes standardization, with more even lines and softer, continuous connections between strokes. A curve is added at the top, symbolizing the blood vessels connected to the heart, making the character more closely resemble the physiological structure of the heart. The ancients discovered that when people are tired, their breathing becomes heavier and their heartbeats quicken. At such times, they need to stop, take a breath, and rest. Therefore, the earliest meaning of
息
was to breathe or to pant. The word
休息
actually originates from the action of taking a breath. In today's lesson, we've learned 4 Chinese characters and also explored what double-syllable Chinese characters are. There's really a lot of content, and it's truly time for a break. In Chinese, you can say,
现在休息
Thanks for viewing, guys, see you next time.